What is up, YouTube? We are here to talk about the balance adjustment preview dated for May 23rd, as of today, as you're watching it, 2025. And I gotta say, it is a little bit of an underwhelming balance adjustment, to say the least, but I will let you guys be the judge on whether or not you think it's actually good or bad. If you like these, comment, you know what to do. So first things first, we're going to be looking at Desert Jewel Bazaar, aka DJB. Basically, all you need to know is he now has a strip on his S2 when he does the barrier inversion and decreases combat readiness by 20%, as you can see indicated here. And so everything else pretty much doesn't change except for his base stats. He's going to be going from a Sagittarius to a Taurus. One really general consensus is that DJB is going to be an ER unit, and he's still going to be subjugated to effectiveness requirements for dispelling 2 buffs and pushing back 20%. So, for example, if you're using it into FCC, if you're using it into Prot Set Knights, more often than not, especially with MLRA coming out, they're going to have ER. They have ER release imprints. I think this, pushback, it really doesn't do much, and the dispel is probably not going to land very often. So still going to be a very unreliable solution to FCC, I think, since everything is still too tanky, there's still too much damage. But overall, I think it's a nice change, but it will not increase his playability in RTA or usage in Arena or in Guild Wars. Now, for Straze, he now dispels all buffs instead of 2 buffs on S2. I mean, Straze, you're only really using him for S3 anyway, so this is, I would say, for lack of better terms, a useless change. The S3 is now going to penetrate defense with the target for the highest max health. When you interpret this update, it looks like, oh my god, they're giving Straze max penetration. But it's like, dude, he already had 100% pen. He just needed high enough attack, and there's no knights that have 2,500 attack, right? So again, completely useless change. They didn't change anything. Anyone that reads this and thinks, oh my god, they're changing Straze, they're buffing him, holy, like, no one's gonna build him, no one's still gonna pick him. He still requires Benny Marutachi, which is a limited artifact, and if you don't have it at plus 30, it's probably not gonna proc and you're gonna miss kills. So again, completely useless in my opinion, but I will say I do like that they're at least looking at doing something, because obviously Emma Aria is coming out. There's going to be a lot more ER players. There's going to be a lot more buff stacking. So dispelling all buffs is going to be kind of useful in that sense. So I don't want to say they didn't do anything, but I just think the target was missed here, unfortunately. Now, Holiday Yufine, I think overall made some pretty good changes. S1 for burn chance. If you guys have watched my RTA Road to Legend series, I've lost so many countless games where burn doesn't stick, right? Increasing it from 75 to 100% chance, I think, is a really good change just for consistency on S1 when those matches do drag out a little bit longer, when you do have Holiday Yufine versus the Fire Litica matchup. The S3 obviously is very good as well. She's going to be increasing combat readiness from 20 to 25. Do I think that's going to increase her actual, playability? Not really. It's going to be about the same. Like, everyone already kind of tunes their characters to get a 20% push to, move to the next turn. So really, it doesn't make that much of a difference, but it's just a subtle, nice change. And the S2, I think, is a really nice change. So instead of having the 70% evasion at max health, as you can see here, as long as she is above 50%, she will have 70% evasion, which is, I think, is good, right? It's going to help her with the cycling. It's going to help her with applying more burns. It's going to help her with staying alive. So if you ever do have matchups where you have, Holiday Yufine and Seaside Bellona on the same team, chances are, you're going to be able to get a lot more survivability out of that evasion, as it doesn't just fall off at 100% HP. So overall, very solid change on Holiday Yufine. I'm already a big fan of her, so good job on that one. Now, for Blue Tywin, so S1 now no longer just dispels 1 buff. It is going to be decreasing defense for 2 turns. And that is a very subtle change. It's a nice one. I mean, S1 dispel buff is pretty useless this day and age. A defense break is kind of nice, but honestly, it doesn't really increase his pickability, right? S2 is going to now reduce the cooldown from 2 turns to 1 turn. I don't know. I really don't know what Smilegate is thinking. I'm gonna be completely honest because he already grants immunity. Like right now, he already grants immunity for 2 turns, right? So I don't really understand what the focus is here. Like maybe they're thinking like if there's some kind of Harseti Abyssal Crown, you can cleanse, and if you have immunity and they have DDR and they strip you, and the next turn you can cleanse again. I have no idea what they're trying to do here. This just makes no sense. And even for someone from a guild war perspective, where for some matchups where there's like Harseti more, you're bringing Tywin, Harseti, Doris, blah blah blah, right? It doesn't it doesn't change his viability. It doesn't solve any problems. It doesn't address anything in the meta. It doesn't give him anything better. So again, a useless change. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, obviously the E is getting changed, so you can exchange it. Very standard stuff. Now, the unit that is being buffed that everyone's going to be talking about is Green Charles, right? Is he going to be able to come back? Is he a hero? Is he a zero? I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun, right? He has a very unique kit right now. He has a complete overhaul of his entire kit. So S1 right now, it's decreased attack, right? It's going to be going to dispelling 1 buff, right? If there's going to be any ER players, they're going to resist that. So don't S1 hoping you can dispel buffs, right? You're looking to do damage with this character. Now, after attacking, he has a 50% chance to activate Smash. And so for those of you that watch this channel are probably longer time players that remember Charles' Demon era of Lilius, Charles, and Seaside Bellona back in 2020 or 2019. I don't remember. He was a menace. He does a lot of damage. Okay, so having a 50% chance to activate the extra hit is very significant. And if he is granted 3 or more buffs, it puts it to 100% proc rate, right? Now, that is very huge because if you think about what units are very popular right now, you're thinking of those units like Prot set, so FCC. If you have any immunity on Green Charles, which you can just put it on as a set, that's already 2 out of 3, right? If you just have one more buff, wait, maybe it's an attack buff, maybe it's a stealth, maybe whatever buff that you're bringing, you immediately are basically activating that extra proc if you Elbrus, right? So I think overall, I mean, seems very interesting. The S2 or the Smash is basically going to be doing more damage, and it also gives you a combat readiness to the rest of the team, so it goes up to 20%. So overall, I think that's a very interesting change, right? Increasing his proc rate, increasing a little bit more utility for the team, a little bit of tempo. Not a terrible thing. I don't hate it. Now, for his S3, he increases attack, defense, and grants himself counterattack. And that ties into his first skill where he gets 100% proc rate if he has 3 buffs or more. So, but the main thing you need to think about and look at it from the perspective of is that Charles is a very slow character. He's not a very fast character, right? If he has S3 to get uptime for the 100% proc rate, I mean, you have the complete wrong approach, right? You need to be looking at it from the approach of getting buffs from other characters, right? Whether it's from ML Aria that comes out, whether it's from your prot set, from your immunity set, from your attack buffers, whatever it is, right? You're looking, or speed buff, right? From Landy, for example, just to name a few. That is how you should be approaching Green Charles. You're not thinking putting him on a fast set and getting his buffs up ASAP, because if you have him on a speed set, he's going to be way too squishy. He's not going to have enough damage. It's going to fall apart. So definitely not. But I will say, I think has some very, very interesting usability in Guild War defense. I will say that, right? Very, very interesting because he does a shit ton of damage. And if you have him in Harseti comps, in RTA, could be problematic. If you have him in Guild War defense paired with Harseti, could be very problematic. So I will say that he is definitely the star of the patch, but by no means do I think this is like an insane change to Charles. I don't think he's going to be first pick or anything. Or should you even invest Molagor into him? I think you should wait and watch YouTubers and streamers to kind of, see how it does, and then make your decision then. So don't invest just yet. Now, obviously, with that being changed, his exclusive equipments, we don't really care. If you want to exchange it, go ahead. If not, I also don't care, okay? So for Fenris, again, I use this word many times in this video, useless. I don't know what they're doing. He gains 25 fighting spirit, not instead of on his turn only. It's, for example, if he dual attacks, right? If you dual attack with let's just say for example, Conqueror Lilius, right? He can gain 25 fighting spirit. Great. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. It should have been like that from the get-go. Okay, whatever. So now his passive, it dispels 2 debuffs instead of 1. Okay, I mean, we never really picked Fenris for that anyway in terms of cleansing. We really want to pick him to do a lot of damage when they counter us, right? A good example is look at Lionheart Sermia when she was very prominent in the meta, right? If they dual attack, if they counter, you rip an S3, you're doing a ton of damage, a shit ton of damage to the enemy team. But here, we're not really using her as a cleanser, Fenris as a cleanser, but great, okay, sure. I won't say too much. 1 debuff to 2, okay, sure. Not a huge change still, right? His kit isn't changed, no EE, nothing has really changed about his kit. He increases the combat readiness of all allies by 30%. So most people that will be trying Fenris will probably be more of an aggressive player, right? But this is really not I don't feel like it's a 2025 kit. There's so many other characters which are bridges. And a lot of people that watch this video, if you don't know what a bridge is, just think about you have 1 character and you have 2 characters, right? How do you get the second character to take the next turn after the first one? That's the bridge. That's the connecting pieces, right? So units like Frida, Requiem Roana, Ida, etc., right? So Fenris, again, he isn't very that great as a bridge. He's not a mage. He can't give you a Toggle Hell's Ancient Book. So again, I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know. There's no damage increases. There's no kit changes. There's no exclusive equipments. I have no idea what they're trying to do with Fenris. This is just completely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing. I'm really disappointed. Anyways, General Purgus. Very good changes across the board. Okay, 100% chance to provoke, increasing the consistency. Very good change. 100% chance to inflict stun on all targets instead of 2 random, as you can see here, right? 2 random, very annoying. You don't know who's going to get stunned. But now it's AoE. So if you're ever Zeo trapping and you rip an S3, you want to land stuns. Much more consistent. So I will say that this is a really good change from Smilegate 10. It's a very marginal change, but a very good one at that, right? Just giving GPurg a little bit more consistency to land the debuffs for your team. Now, obviously, with this EE, this is more so for newer players that use General Purgus in Wyvern 13. It really is not it's not a big deal, right? He's already really power crept in PvE, so really makes not that much of a difference. Assassin Cartuja, let's just move on, man. Let's just move on. I don't know what they're doing. Like, 100% chance to provoke. He's like, no one's picking Assassin Cartuja. No one's picking it. We're going to increase his damage proportional to caster's max HP. Again, does not matter. No one is picking him to do damage. You're picking him for evasion. You're picking him with a prot set. You're picking him for survivability. You're picking him for some kind of, disrupt, right? Crowd control, right? Stunning, death breaking, or, provoking rather. Sorry, provoking rather. Like, I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing? I have no idea. Consistency on S1 provoke, great. But again, don't build them, useless. Artifact changes. Indestructible Gaiters. If a non-critical hit is made when attacking, so that means it's AoE, right? Instead of single target, it's AoE, right? Units like Inferno Kawazu, obviously use this artifact the most. He plays a lot of burns. He's very solid. But again, what character in the game that's a warrior can use AoE, right? And benefit from this, right? Obviously, off the top of your head, when you're watching this, you're thinking Lone Wolf Peyra, right? Or Holiday Yufine. But if you're using Lone Wolf Peyra, you either go Uberius Tooth or Sweet Miracle, right? Or Warhorn for max damage if you're top speed. You're not looking to build this for soul burn, right? To put what? To burn? For what? For nothing, basically. Okay, let's look at Holiday Yufine. Holiday Yufine, we're going to increase her burn damage. Okay, so how are we going to use her to combat readiness cut cleavers like Litica, right? With Guide to a Decision, Snow Crystal, right? Again, useless change. I have no idea why they did this. It makes no sense. It's just disappointing. Just really disappointing, okay? Another artifact change, Glo-Wings 21. We're going to grant barrier 30 to 60 per level to all allies for 2 turns. So this is based on character level, according to my chat. Now, I'm going to whip out a calculator for you. If you're wondering, is this a good change? Is this a bad change? Let's just say your C Phantom Politis on Glo-Wing 21 is 19k HP. you're going to be getting 20% of that. So that's a 3,800 barrier, right? So at 60 per level, and your character is level 60, you're getting a 3,600 barrier. So if you're ever looking at playing with Glo-Wings 21 on a Ranger, okay, you're probably already going to be on high HP. Okay, so I don't really see the merit of making this change like this. Okay, like I don't understand. I have no idea. Like, am I gonna bring a 10k HP Sea Phantom Politis on Glowwings 21 versus Spatial Temporal Fan, Unseen Observer, Warhorn, Miss Confili, Elegai Candle, like or Bastion of Hope if I'm ER? Like, no, I'm not. So again, I don't know what this change is for. It is ridiculous. I'm just like, it makes no sense. It makes no freaking sense. So honestly, this is a really, really underwhelming balance patch, and I hope you guys feel the same way too. And if you guys do have anything to say, make sure you guys leave it in the stove comments. I'll link it in the comment section. But I hope I didn't mean to sound really, really negative this entire balance adjustment video, but this is just ridiculous. This is just absolutely ridiculous. They aren't like, it doesn't change anything. Like, I don't understand. Like, wait, hello. Anyways, that's it for the video. So, thanks for watching, and catch the next video. Because honestly, this is just unbelievable. I'm just gonna go play RTA. I'm just gonna fuck right off because this is just crazy. Bye.